Hello and welcome to RMI's Advantage 365 video training series. Today we're going to discuss information views. There are two types of information views in Advantage 365, card views and list views. A card view provides access to all the editable information about a particular record, such as a customer, vendor, or fixed asset, and it is shown one record at a time. A list view, on the other hand, displays uneditable information and provides the ability to see multiple records on screen, making it easier to find specific records. So let's look at some examples. When I select Customers from the navigation pane on the left, it will automatically open the Customer List view. The different columns that are visible here are able to be changed depending on what you need to see by right-clicking in the header and selecting Choose Columns. So if I wanted to add zip code to my list, I select it, say Add, and OK. And now I have zip code in my list. Adding a field like we just did is a customization, so that is specific to you. That means your coworkers may have different columns showing in their customer list view than you do. So to search this list, I can use criteria from any of the columns that are shown here. So if we look at this search bar at the top, let's say I want to see all of my customers in Connecticut. I'll change the search criteria to state and enter Connecticut. Hitting enter will filter the list. If you want to filter by a column that is not currently shown, you'll first need to add that column. If you want to filter your list by multiple criteria, you would click this small expand and collapse arrow next to the search bar. So you see when I expand it, it adds filter options here. So let's say I want to see who in Connecticut is currently receiving emailed invoices. So I will add a filter where email invoices is yes. And now I see my two customers that are receiving emailed invoices in Connecticut. If I want to see who in other states is receiving emailed invoices, I can simply clear the state filter by clicking the image of a funnel with a little X next to it, and that'll clear that filter, but keep this other filter. If you're using the online web client, not the desktop client like what we're looking at right now, your search bar for your list view does not actually require you to select which field you're searching in. You simply type your search term and the system will search all the fields. Additionally, to add filters to your list in the online web client, you won't have an expand arrow next to your search bar. Instead, you'll actually hover your mouse over each individual column that you want to add a filter to, and there will be an expand arrow on that individual column, and it'll say filter. When you click that, you'll be able to add the filter directly from each column. Now, whether you are in the online web client or the desktop client, to clear all the filters, I can also use the clear filter option in the ribbon at the top of the page. In both the web and desktop clients, you'll also find these grayish boxes on the right side of the screen. They hold additional information about the highlighted record in the list. So this right now is showing us some information about Armani Restoration, such as their balance, outstanding orders, how many open quotes they have, etc. And if I click to a different customer, that information will change. Any information in the fact box that is colored blue can be clicked to open a page with additional information about that number. For example, clicking on the customer's balance will show the list of invoices that make up that number. Clicking on quotes will list the 2 quotes that are open for this customer. To get to a card view from a list view, you simply double-click on the line in the list, or in the web client, you'd click on the customer number, which would be colored blue. So I'll maximize this so we can see it a little better. Each card is broken into different sections called fast tabs. The tabs will be different for each card type. For example, the customer cards fast tabs are General, Communication, Invoicing, Payments, and Shipping. But the fixed asset card has General, Lines, Posting, Maintenance, and Registration, just for comparison. Each tab will have a number of fields in it. We'll just expand a couple here so you can see. The fields that show up here by default can be changed by you or by an RMI consultant when you call into RMI support. But please watch our customization videos to learn how to make these types of changes yourself. If I click the Show More Fields button at the bottom of each FAST tab, it will show additional fields. So let me shrink these so we can see the difference that we make. So Show More Fields. I can choose to put fields in this expanded view instead of in the simpler view. I might do that if they're seldom used and I don't want users to be confused by seeing them in this simpler view. The options in the ribbon at the top of the page will be different depending on which card you are looking at. For example, I wouldn't see customer account details from a fixed asset record. However, there are a few options up here that will be the same. In the Home tab of the ribbon, so here are our different tabs, Home tab at the far right, there will always be the following options. Notes, so you can add specific notes to a record. Links, for linking documents from your SharePoint document management system, which is included with Advantage 365. Watch our video about that to learn more. Refresh will refresh the record if you've made a change or received an error. Clear Filter, which I'll come back to in a moment. Go To, this will help you jump to another specific card without having to go back to the list view to do it. And we actually see a little description of the Go To in this pop-up box as well. And then Previous and Next. These are for advancing or backtracking by one record at a time in numerical order. So if you filtered your list view before opening a specific card in that list, the system will remember the filter you had on it and show you the next or previous record in the filtered list. So if you want to be able to move between records without that filter, that's when you'd use the Clear Filter option here. So to show you a brief example of what I'm talking about, let's look up a fixed asset with the word wheel in the description. So in this case, I see my wheelchair standard. The next record in my filtered list is a wheeled portable air compressor. If I take out this filter, I see that numerically the next record is actually a bed mattress. So I'm going to put that filter back on, and then we'll open up this card. Now, because that filter is currently on, when I click my Next button, I get the wheeled portable air compressor. But if I go back, clear the filter, and now go to the next one, I should see that mattress. And there you go. So that's what that Clear Filter option does. And that concludes our video about the list and card information views in Advantage 365. Thank you for watching this video, and be sure to watch our other videos in the RMI Advantage 365 video training series.